Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and for those of you who are wondering what I was just shooting at, it's my Ridge wallet, my carbon fiber Ridge wallet. They're lovely. Check them out. I'm just going to quickly show how they kind of work. So it's got the little cutout there. You push that to get the cards up, even them out, and then you squeeze the bottom and it will fan the cards. And you can then easily find the one you want and pull it out. In this case, it's the Ridge card that came with it. And then you just put it back in and close it back up. It's nice when you have it fanned like that because it means that you're not scraping the numbers or the magnetic strip on any other cards, which is something I've seen in my other ones, that those two things tend to get worn out pulling them in and out of a wallet. So I think that's pretty neat. On with the video. What do you get the man who has 4 Caliburns that he almost never uses? That's right! Another Caliburn. I've never even asked for a Caliburn. They just keep showing up. Well, in this case, it's actually Worker's Holy Sword, or the Sword and the Stone Blaster, depending on who you're talking to. And they're not wrong. I mean, Caliburn is, you know, another name for Excalibur, so sure, why not? I just love the overly literal translation. Anyway, they've sent me their new take on that, which, when it first was announced, had the entire community up in arms because we all thought that they were ripping off Captain Slug, and we were not going to stand for that. And then it turns out that he actually worked with them and licensed it through them and is getting a cut on all of these sold, that he doesn't have to do any of the work. So it's actually a win-win for him, which is awesome. Anyway, when my contact with those folks told me that they were going to send me the latest Worker blaster, I was expecting them to send me the Hurricane, the little flywheel revolver that they've sent everybody else, and then this shows up, which is awesome. Some assembly required. So, we're going to assemble it. We're going to see how the instructions work out. Oh, this ought to be exciting. They look like they're just modified versions of Captain Slug's instructions, so it should work out. It looks like it is the breakdown version, which I don't have. I don't think I have a breakdown version of the Elite Caliburn yet. So there is at least something new and novel involved here. But we will see how their print quality is. Worker's print quality is usually absolutely gorgeous. And sure enough, just, yeah, beautiful. Oh, I just now noticed that. Look, an angled foregrip. All right, let's get this thing unpacked. Carbon fiber thread covers. That's classy. Well then, let's get started. It is done! And it is lovely! Standard Worker quality print. It does say Caliburn. On the other side, you have the Worker. F10555 CS. Captain Slug's on there. Yeah. Beautiful print work. Nice heavy spring. Don't know what it is, but it's beefy. They give you loads of replacement parts. Replacement springs for both the catch and the mag catch. We've got the extra screws, extra primary O-rings, so that is pretty cool. I will probably end up replacing at least some of the nuts with lock nuts so that they don't come loose on me. But other than that, really nice. I am now going to put a couple of darts through it just to test it. It's dark here now, so if the weather holds tomorrow, I'll be able to actually give it a proper test. I need to, okay. Oh! Oh! Yes, please! Yes, sir! That is fantastic! I don't know if they are planning to make all the various upgrade kits and stuff out there. I mean, it has the nicer stock and the handle fill part and the angled foregrip and the sights. It is the teardown version, so who knows what they're gonna make available down the road. I am interested to see. I've had some issues with the teardown versions being a little bit weak. Easy solution for that. Well, there isn't really an easy solution and still have it be teardown, but this new design looks to be much stronger. I would also be tempted to actually, it looks like you can bolt it into the top. So the top two portions bolt together and you just have to take out the top thread and then pull the pins and it would come apart, which is easier than the previous version where the rods went the full length of the blaster, which was definitely a little bit sturdier, but had its own drawbacks. So yeah, doesn't appear to have a padded stock back here, though it wouldn't be hard to just add some EVA foam or something. I have one nut that just would not fit, so I will need to acquire that. Love the carbon fiber covers on those. Those look gorgeous. Yeah, that spring is certainly heavy. I'm definitely, if the weather holds, it was beautiful weather today. If it's good weather tomorrow, then I will get this thing range tested and chronographed, compare it to my other Caliburns, and see what I think of it. But that was fun to build. Stay tuned. We're going to go fling some foam. All right, so let's get some numbers on this before I lose light entirely. I am shooting just red med guns out of this. See what kind of ranges we are getting. And FPS. Nope, that didn't fire at all. Whoa. Okay. I tried it with mun gun darts, and it didn't like them at all. They kept jamming in the barrel, and that's unusual. I've never seen men guns jam in a Caliburn before. We're going to try just elites. Well, they're hitting over 200, which is impressive, though the accuracy is basically non-existent. That one's in the tree. Oh boy. Alright, let's try worker half darts. I have a katana here, we'll see how that improves things. There we go. That was firing two. I double primed it on accident. Having some technical issues that need to be addressed, I think. Part of that is probably that I haven't gotten it completely put together. Alright, let's go try to hit an actual target. Alright, I'm going to go back a little ways and try to take out these zombies. Possibly the Ridge Wallet. We'll see how that works out for me. Well, I got the zombies, but the Ridge Wallet has evaded me. I'm surely doomed. Let's go talk about this thing. Alright, well, getting about 200 FPS out of both regular elites and worker half darts, but I've run into a number of issues that I am somewhat disappointed by. The first, I think, might actually be my fault, and that's that the reason I was having some issues firing is you can see what happened to the O-ring there. I think I've got the wrong O-ring on the wrong part. So it came with two different color O-rings, black ones and those orange ones, and the black ones are more rigid, and I think they're meant to be the one that goes on the plunger, and the fact that I'm using the softer one is why it's getting squeezed out like that. The other issue that has already developed, and I have seen this on my Mega Burn and my Rival Burn, and it is very disappointing, and that is that even only after a couple dozen shots, the part that the pin goes through has already cracked because they printed it in the grain as opposed to against the grain. With the grain, obviously, prints easier because it's got round section, but if you print that that pinpoint right there with the grain, it's gonna crack. And it happened on several of, pretty much, I think it's happened on all of the teardown versions of the Caliburn that I have seen. And while having the teardown is nice, it makes it easy to pack, it makes it easy to take apart. If it's gonna break every dozen rounds, that's just not worth it. So not sure how I feel about that. That is a shame. Luckily, I have a 3D printer and I can print one, though the color probably won't be the same. I can print it in white. And I might try printing it. Well, except I don't think I have the files for this particular version of Teardown. Which is a shame. I wonder what it would take, how difficult it would be to Dremel out a notch right here so that I could put a bolt or a nut in and thread it right in there and make it no longer tear down. There is a spot for a bolt up top, which maybe I should have put that in. Maybe that would have kept it from breaking. It would at least keep it from coming apart, I think. I was hoping the fact that this pin does go all the way through this and all the way down into this part would have been enough to keep it from having issues. It didn't snap all the way off. It only snapped halfway. So I think if I glue the cracked area and Dremel a notch and put more nuts in, that will alleviate that issue. I don't think that is a problem with workers. No, I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be a problem with their print quality, other than the fact that they printed that with the grain. I don't know how printing it the other way would be feasible. I know they went to a lot of trouble to make it so there was very little very little supports needed to print these parts, but that might be a place where they really should consider printing that against the grain. Anyway, other than that, it's really a fantastic print. Alright, I'm going to swap out that O-ring in the hopes that that solves that problem. Alright, I got the O-ring swapped. Hopefully that will solve that problem. And I added a bolt, a nut up there. I do still need to go to a hardware store and get lock washers to replace the end ones because they simply wiggle loose. Plus, now I don't have enough because I've put nuts in places that they weren't meant to have. I'm still really tempted to try to cut out a notch there to be able to have that bolt go all the way, the lower bolts go in and attach as well, just because I think it would be better. Didn't get around to reinforcing that, which means it would probably eventually break off all the way. But, yeah. Other than those issues, which hopefully are resolved, or just not as bad as I think they are, I really, really like it. The stock spring is good and heavy. I like all of the extra cosmetic parts that they added, the sights and the foregrip and the stock and the stock filler. Like all of those. Next thing I will probably ask them to send me, because I didn't ask for this in the first place, is the metal parts kit. They have metal plunger, or pusher head, I think probably trigger and catch. All of those they have metal parts for, so I may go ahead and ask them to send me that, just because I would love to actually see how much of a difference that makes. And I'd also love it if they would fit in Uller, the one that Captain Slug sent me. But as far as range and accuracy, it hits the ranges you would expect a Caliburn that's shooting 200 FPS to hit, easily over 220, 230 feet. With elite darts, it was of course horrifically inaccurate. There was no telling where they were going to go. But with the worker half darts, they went perfectly straight. I was able to hit these guys more time. I managed to hit all 4 of them, let's just say that. And they're a very small target. I was shooting at about 15 yards, probably. So, yeah, beautifully accurate. I mean, it's a Caliburn. What do you want? Had some trouble with some of the ammo types I was firing out of it, though. I believe that was the O-ring getting out of alignment and then not being able to fire it. When I fixed the O-ring and then fired those same ammo types, they fired just fine. So pretty much going to be just a Caliburn from the ports out. It does of course have the fancy worker bolt and barrel system that they like to put on in everything, which is a beautiful seal and will work for both half darts and full darts. So yeah, I like it. And Captain Slug gets a bit of the profit from it, but doesn't have to do any of the work. So I'm sure he appreciates that, and I'm sure hopefully some of you appreciate it. If you really want one that's white and blue, and here's a way to get one. As far as I know, they don't come in any other colors yet. They may. Who knows? But yeah, here's what I have to say about it. I like it. I'm glad I got sent it. It will end up a loaner for future Blaster Tag Association type games, probably, or sniper competitions, or who knows what else. It's always handy to have spare blasters in all the varying degrees, you know, having your stock Mavericks for little kid battles, but then having something that's this powerful that, you know, new people who want to get into the serious end of the hobby can then try out is really, really cool. So I appreciate them sending me this, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Mwah!